In today's session, we are going to look at one more problem on gear train systems, how to find the transfer function. Actually, I have already given you the slides I have shared, but I think it seems some doubts are there in the last problem. So let me take that problem and then continue with the block diagrams. So let me just recall in the gear train systems what is important to note. You have seen this figure already. So you have two shafts here. There's shaft 1 and shaft 2. So whenever you want to find the transfer function of a system which is having gear trains like this, okay, you have to transform this particular system into a mechanical system which is not having gears. So when you transform, you have to reflect the parameters of one shaft over the other shaft, okay, either it may be 1 on 2 or reverse 2 on 1. While doing so, some of the parameters which exist on the source shaft, they will change, not the destination. अगर हम shaft 1 के elements 2 पे transfer कर रहे हैं, so 2 will be your destination, 1 is your source. So source elements will change, and sometimes what happens due to this shifting, the reflections, the torque element, the developed torque may also get affected. Okay, we have seen some of the problems of such kind. So important thing here to note is this relationship which we are going to use in the problems. We have used it already, the relationship between the displacements and the torques, this relationship, as well as the number of teeth n1 and n2. This relationship is important when we want to represent t1 in terms of t2 or theta 1 in terms of theta 2. In such case, we either take this pair theta 2 by theta 1 equals to n1 by n2, or we take this pair t1 by t2 is equal to theta 2 by theta 1. Okay, so this is one important thing. Secondly, if you observe here, I have taken the equivalent terms. Okay, so assume that you have got this gear system. This is your shaft 1, this is your shaft 2. Okay, shaft 1 has got, assume, moment of inertia of j1 and the viscous friction coefficient b1. Similarly, this is your j2 and b2. Suppose here there are two possibilities. I have shown you both the possibilities. Okay, similarly, directly I have written the equation. The possibilities are, you can reflect this shaft 1 elements over the second, or you can take it the second way. So first time, when you take the element of the second over the first, this what we call the collectively mechanical impedances. Okay, the elements we call them mechanical impedances. When you reflect shaft 2 over shaft 1, what is happening, what ratio we have to take? Each, I have told you, each term gets multiplied by a ratio square. Okay, so this numerator is your destination teeth and this is your source teeth. So if you change, if you shift, the reflection is on a 2 to 1, then 1 is your destination, 2 is your source. So the ratio will be, generally I'm telling you, n1 by n2. This is your general ratio, whole square. So each term gets multiplied by this term. So now you can see J equivalent. Okay, when I'm taking the equivalent value of J and equivalent value of B, I am shifting taking the reflection of 2 over 1. So one element I have not changed. You can observe J1 is same, B1 is same. Means जो destination के elements हैं, those I have not touched. The change is only in the source elements J2 and B2. Okay, this is important. Similarly, अगर मैं second लेती हूँ, like expressing the equations in terms of theta 2, in the sense I am taking the reverse reflection. Okay, taking the reflection of one shaft over the second shaft. Under that case, this ratio n1 by n2 will change. It will become n2 by n1. And when you take the equivalent value of J, this time these will remain same. J2 and B2, J1 and B1 gets multiplied by the factor n2 by n1 whole square. Okay. So we have seen some one or two, three problems we have seen, two problems, and one problem was given as a work to do. This problem also was solved in the class. in the session. You can see I have taken the ratio N1 by N2 here, source shaft and destination shaft. So this is your source, this is your destination. Even this problem was also dealt. It is very simple. General terms are given. Look at this problem. This has got, many gears connected. So it is very interesting to solve this problem. We can observe what we need to find. Find the transfer function of G, that is theta T by torque 1. Theta T where it is? Observe, this is your shaft 1. Okay. ये आपका shaft 2 है. आपके shaft 2 में आपके 2 gears connected हैं. Okay. And you have shaft 3. So totally 3 shafts are there. And theta 3 is somewhere here, third shaft. And torque is applied here at the first shaft. So in order, if this is the system given to you, this system is having gear trains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 somewhere. Okay, here also you have still probably some may have connected, but this is the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 shafts are connected here. Sorry, 5 gears are there. Shafts are only 3. Okay. So for this, we need to go for long process of taking the reflections, because I want the transfer function of theta 3 over T1. So theta 3 means this is your final destination. So I have to take the reflection of this over this, and then taking the reflection of this over this. So I need to go through the series of reflections. So once I take that, so the parameters keep on changing. So generally, if I want to write the equivalent, draw the equivalent circuit for this, how it will be? Observe, I don't have any spring constant. Only for first shaft, it is J1 and B1. For second, this gear, it is J2, B2. Third gear, J3, B3. Fourth gear, J4, B4. Fifth gear, J5, B5. So for each gear, it has a moment of inertia and it has a viscous friction coefficient. Suppose K is also there, they could have taken K1, K2, K3. Under that condition, your equation will include K. But here in this example, K is excluded. But if they give you comma K1, comma K2, you have to include that also, because that parameter value will also change. Okay. Now, important thing is what? We need to go through the series of reflections. Final destination shaft is this, number third. So if I take the reflection of all impedances, all in the sense 1, 2, 3 on third, and one has only one gear, second shaft has got 2 gears. So we have to consider all. Okay. So reflecting all the impedances on theta 3, how I can draw this equivalent circuit? This is your given mechanical system which is having gear trains. 5 gears are included here. If I want to draw this, I have to convert, I have to transform the system into a mechanical system which is not having gears. So in generally, how can I draw? Take one shaft, okay, some torque is there. And one more thing I wanted to show you here. Check the directions of torques. Just for your information, I'm telling you. Observe, this is the given torque, okay, applied. Because of this, okay, when this gear moves, obviously this will also rotates. There will be a developed torque, and obviously this will be in the opposite direction. दोनों same direction में होंगे तो rotation नहीं होने वाला है. They both should move in the opposite directions. That is the common sense. So this is your theta 1. They are in this direction. These are in the opposite direction. Similarly, ये जो डायरेक्शन में घूमेगा, ये दोनों सेम डायरेक्शन में रहेंगे. ये जो डायरेक्शन होगा, इसका ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन यहाँ पे होगा. So that is again here. Remember, whenever two different gears are there, their angular displacements will be the angles, the angle with which they rotate, they'll be in the opposite directions. Now taking the reflection, very first thing is I have to transform this into a mechanical system which is not having gears. So जब मैं transfer करूंगी, transformation होगा, तो gears नहीं रहेंगे equivalent system में. So you have a shaft, you have a torque, you have a theta, okay, because theta 3 and torque is there. say it T3 or fine T3, let me take this only क्योंकि final destination shaft यही है आपका. So T3 and theta 3 you have, and finally you can just take here. Okay, this is this top. This is having one J and one B, and these are not simply J5 or J4. They are equivalent values because they have now changed. क्योंकि सभी का impact हमको analyze करना पड़ेगा. One first shaft is over the second, second is over the third. So all should be included. J1, J2, J3, J4, and up to J5. So this is a general moment of inertia, J equivalent of all the complete system together, including the gear trains. And this is your B equivalent. As I'm telling you again, here K is not given, spring constant. But suppose K is also there, you should take K equivalent also. But K is not there, so let us leave it. So this is your equivalent mechanical system drawn. I have not drawn it. Please do this. Okay, you have to draw this figure. This diagram you have to draw. This is your shaft 3. Here the difference is J and B. They are equivalent values. Don't consider K. It is not given in the question. So include torque and theta. Fine. So this is your equivalent mechanical system which is not having the gear trains. Now we have to find what are these J's and B's, and also we need to go for nodal equation, that is the equilibrium equation for theta 3. Then we need to go for transfer function. Okay, अगर ये आपका equivalent system है, इसके लिए equation क्या होगा? So theta 3 is your one single displacement. Okay, for equivalent network एक ही displacement है, तो आपको एक ही equation आएगा. What is that equation? It has got applied torque T3 and the opposing torques will be due to J and B. Okay, no K. So I have taken directly what you can do. First, T3 of T is equal to, okay, there is J, that is equivalent value, J equivalent, d by dt square of, this is what we are writing the equilibrium equation or torque equation for the equivalent system. So we have got theta 3 plus, there is B equivalent, so single time differentiation, d by dt of theta 3. I think this is over. There is no K term. Now for this equation, observe we have theta 3 and T3, right? So if I take somehow Laplace transform leke, I'm not completely solving it. What I'm telling you, observe the terms. There is a J and B, fine. But there is a theta 3 term and T3 term. What we want the ratio? Theta 3 by T1 we want, okay, not T3. So what we have to do? We have to look for the transformation. हमको equivalent value T3 का in terms of T1 find करना पड़ेगा. Okay, that is one observation. Now what I will do for this torque equation, I will apply the Laplace transform. So what is the Laplace transform of T3 of T? It is T3 of S is equal to J equivalent as it is. You have a 2 times differentiation, take S square into theta 3 of S. Theta 3 of S I have taken common. Plus you have B equivalent as it is. 1 time differentiation, take multiplied by S. So this is your equation directly. So I have directly written the equation here. Before, what you should do for the displacement theta 3 at node theta 3, you have to write the torque equation, equilibrium equation, and then apply the Laplace transform. You will get this equation. Okay. So this is your equivalent equation for the equivalent mechanical network. From this, you can find easily the transfer function. But as I told you, I don't want T3. I want in terms of T1 because applied torque कहाँ है? It is on the shaft 1. So ये जब यहाँ transfer होगा, यहाँ से यहाँ transfer होगा, T3 will not remain the same. Okay, so I have to express T3 in terms of T1 क्योंकि because of this torque only this is getting developed. Remember, so I have to get the relationship between them. For that, okay, now only the left out part is I need to express T3 in terms of T1 and just take the ratio of theta 3 by that T1. उतना किए तो हो जाएगा. That's it. Okay. Okay, coming to the figure, as I told you, this should be reflected here first, okay, one time, and from after this, from this to this reflection. So when I take the shaft 1 over shaft 2, okay, shaft 2 आपका destination हो जाएगा. So if I take that, let me go back to that relationship. You have a torque and theta equation relationship, okay. T1 by T2 is equal to N1 by N2. So T1 by T2 is equal to N1 by N2. See, N1 by N2. So this is the relationship which we have already seen in the theory concept. It gives you the relationship between T, N and theta. But here I am not considering theta क्योंकि theta 3 ही चाहिए हमको. So I am not including it. I'm just interested in T and N. So taking that ratio, so T1 I can express. So T1 by T2 is N1 by N2. So what will be T2 is equal to? T2 is N1 by N2, sorry, N2 by N1, right? So if I take T2 to the other side, this ratio to the this side, so what I will get? T2 is equal to N2 by N1 into T1. Okay, ये एक हो गया. Similarly, what I should go? I should go for this transformation also. यहाँ से यहाँ, this is second transformation भी मुझे चाहिए. Shaft 2 से 3 का transformation. This time 3 is your destination, 2 is your source. Fine. So if I go for that transformation, so take the ratio. Just please rectify this mistake. I have given you this slide, this sheet already in your group. That there it is a T4. Okay, please rectify that mistake. It was not T2, T4. It is actually T2. You can take either T3 by T2 or 2 by 3. No problem. Okay, because they are directly related. 1 by 2 is 1 by 2 only. So if you take 3 by 2, actually I should get 3 by 2 here, but look at the figure. Torque 3 by 2. Torque 3 is here, okay, and torque 2 is here. So if I take the ratio of 3 by 2, what is the number of teeth for this torque 3? The shaft, it is N4. Okay, so don't blindly consider, assume करो ये मैंने T1 by T2 लिया है तो it is N1 by N2 directly. Why? Because here it is given N1 by N2. If I take some notation NT and NA, you should take in that sense only. Okay, it is not a by hearted formula. It should be N1 by N2. यहाँ पर जो notation होगा वही change होगा. So torque 1 is associated with N1 teeth, torque T2 is associated with N2 teeth as well as N3 teeth, because एक ही shaft में आपको दोनों teeth मिलेंगे. ये N2 भी है and N3 भी है. Fine. So if I take T3 by T2, or you can take 2 by 3 also. T3 by T2. T3 is associated with number of teeth N4 and यहाँ पर जो second shaft है वहां पे N2 भी है and N3 भी है, but इस gear के लिए जो इसके associated है, जो घूम रहा है, ये दोनों related हैं, okay? So it is N3, okay? Don't consider N2 here. So take N3 because N4 and N3 in turn their rotation matters. Because of these only, no, the other one will move. That's why T3 के लिए N4 लो and T2 torque के लिए N3 ले लो. So taking that ratio, T3 by T2 is equal to N4 by N3. Okay, don't take blindly 3 by 2. So if I just try to express this also, because I want T3, right? I want to replace T3 from this equation. So take what is T3 is equal to? T3 is N4 by N3 into T2. T3 is N4 by N3 into T2. Fine. But in turn, you can see T2 के लिए हमने just now above we have got the equation in terms of T1. We want T1 only. Assume, just check it. Question is in terms of T1 only. So we have achieved it. Starting from this ratio, T1 by T2 is equal to N1 by N2. Similarly, from this, we have got what is T2 in terms of T1, the required thing. Similarly, if I take T3 by T2, it is N4 by N3. So what is T3? जो replace करना है मुझे, T3 is N4 by N3 into T2 and take the value of T2 from this equation. So what is T3 is equal to this ratio N4 by N3 into T2. What is T2? N2 by N1 into T1. Hope you understood this. So this is the equivalent value we got. So once this is got, what is the next step? Substitute in this equation. So what I've taken from this equation, before solving, before substituting, what I have done, I have taken the ratio of theta by T3. So theta by T3 is, means T3 को आप इधर ले जाओ and this term take it to the RHS. So I have just rearranged the terms. Theta 3 by T3 is equal to 1 by this. Okay. And the T3 के लिए just now we have got the equation. T3 is N4 by N3 into N2 by N1 into T1. Substitute that. Complete value. Write it. 1 by J plus B. In this I want theta 3 by T1. So keeping only that much, remaining ये जो भी constant है, take it to the other side in the numerator. This is your transfer function. Okay. Now coming to one more important thing. This is over. Finding the transform function is over. What we have done, starting from the given system which is having 5 gears in it. Okay, 5 gears are there. We have drawn the equivalent mechanical network without gears. This is without gears. So, and I have just taken the denotion of J equivalent and B equivalent. So what are these equivalent values? Even we should mention that also. That is important. So let me just take that. What is J equivalent is equal to? How many J terms are involved? Let me just take a different color so that you can understand it and it is easy for you to mark. Okay, so how many J terms are involved? There is J1, there is J2, there is J3, J4 and J5. Out of these many values, see, this is your first shaft, second shaft, third shaft, and third shaft is your destination. Okay, according to this, क्योंकि सभी हम reflect करके third shaft पे ले रहे हैं. So according to this, destination values will not change. So J5 and J4 should remain the same. In the equivalent value, J5 and J4 will not change because that is the destination shaft parameters. Then coming to these values, J3 and J2, because ये एक ही shaft पे connected हैं, दोनों के values same आएंगे. So when I change these parameters will be changed by a ratio like this. So numerator will give you the destination shaft. Destination shaft number of teeth are N4 and source shaft in the denominator. So denominator में आपको क्या आएगा? N3 आएगा. So N4 by N3 whole square. You can see N4 by N3 whole square. It is for second shaft. Okay, second shaft. Second shaft includes J3 and J2. That's why J2 and J3 both the terms are multiplied by N4 by N3 whole square. And what else is remaining? There is J1 also. So J1 again it is multiplied by this ratio, destination shaft by source shaft. So what is the destination shaft? It is second shaft. क्योंकि हम directly 1 को 3 पे नहीं कर सकते. 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3. It is in steps. So destination shaft is your second shaft. That is N2. N2 numerator में आएगा. Source shaft का number of teeth N1 है. So N2 by N1 whole square. So J1 is N2 by N1 whole square into N4 by N3 whole square. I have just taken that. Because as I have to take this also. Yes, I'm sorry. When I'm considering J1, for J1, there are 2 times we are transforming. Second to third, there is only 1 time transformation. But when you're taking the shaft 1 to the shaft 3, there are 2 transformations. Okay, that is very important. You know, this problem is very interesting. You learn many things in this. When you take J1's reflection over second shaft, the factor with which it is multiplied is a destination shaft by source shaft, that is n2 by n1 whole square. Sorry, n2 by n1. Okay, so that this is your first value, n2 by n1 whole square. And when you take this further into one more transformation, the destination shaft is n4, source shaft is n3. So for shaft 1 there are two transformations. So इसीलिए दो अलग अलग parameters से वो multiply होगा whole square. I think it is not visible to you. Both are squares. Okay, so J1 is multiplied by this, and J2 and J3, the second shaft parameters are multiplied by this. J5 and J4 will not change because that is your destination shaft. So those values will remain the same. And similarly, the same is the case with the B also. So B5 and B4 will not change, just like J5 and J4. Then B2 and B3 are multiplied by N4 by N3 square. And just like J1, B1 will also have two transformation, क्योंकि shaft 1 से 2 को आएंगे, 2 से 3 को आएंगे, so 2 times. So the two terms are n2 by n1 whole square, n4 by n3 whole square. And suppose if your figure has got k also, you should have taken k equivalent also and written this equation for k also. Remember, okay? So equivalent values are just the same, they carry same importance as that of finding your final transfer function. सिर्फ अगर इतना कर लिए तो काफी नहीं है. In this final transfer function equation, you have J equivalent and D equivalent terms. So इसको आपको denote करना बहुत जरूरी है. How you are taking these equivalent values. Okay. Hope you understood this problem. This one single problem has got so many things to learn. Please rectify that mistake which I have given you. It was given as a 4. I think that's why you are getting confused why it is like that. So it is T2. Okay, shall we move to the next concept? Any doubts, you can put it in the chat box. Coming to the next concept, that is block diagram algebra. So in the second module, you know, we have got majorly three concepts. Very first thing is the basic how to find the transfer function for any mechanical system that we have seen. And for few standard mechanical systems like thermal system, hydraulic systems, liquid level examples we have seen how that some 2 to 3 systems for 2 to 3 systems how to find the transfer function we have seen. And then we have also seen for a DC motor, a field controlled or armature controlled, how to find the transfer function. Okay, that is the first part, finding the transfer function. Then remaining two concepts are block diagrams as well as the signal flow graphs. So block diagrams and signal flow graphs, these both are also the methods to find the transfer function. So आपको अभी पता चल गया how to find the transfer function. For a given system, you first write the equations. Then for those equations, you go for applying the Laplace transforms. Once you apply the Laplace transforms, taking some ratio, some readjustments, mathematical manipulations, taking the ratio, you get output by input, you get the transfer function. That is the first concept. Now we have another concept, that is block diagram algebra. Even block diagram can also be used to find the transfer function. Okay, so let's see what it is. Block diagram, I hope you have started with systems part in your first module of signals and system. So you will understand this easily. Interconnection of systems, some of the problems you might have done there also, reducing the block diagram for H impulse response. So this that you can relate it with this concept. So block diagram of a system, it is a pictorial representation of the functions performed by each component. Okay, whatever functions are performed in a system, okay, by each component, that we can represent in the form of a block diagram. Okay, and of the flow of signals. So आपको block diagram के जरिए flow of signals भी पता चलेगा. So it depicts the interrelationships which exists between various components. So you can know which components are connected together, which are not connected, which are indirectly connected. You can get the overall idea if you look at a block diagram of any particular system. In general, block diagram can be used to model linear as well as non-linear systems. Okay, linear, they vary with time linearly. Okay, that law of superposition holds good for linear systems. For non-linear, it won't hold good. Law of superposition. So in a block diagram, all system variables, they are each other through functional blocks. Okay, I'm now dealing with whatever I'm dealing now with the theory concept. This I'm reading it and trying to explain you, but you will get the real meaning of these statements when you start solving the problems. Okay, but now at least you have some idea what these block diagrams are and why they are used, what are its advantages, some theoretical concepts. It may be asked, just explain the block diagram, or explain the advantages or list the advantages and disadvantages. For that, I'm taking a block diagram as an example. So a block diagram is a symbol for the mathematical operation on the input to the block which produces the output. So I think you know what is the block diagram representation in case of your signals and system. This indicates your input side, this is your output side, this is your process, or I think you write it something like h of n or h of t, indicating the impulse response. Okay, uh, so this is what it is indicating. A block is a symbol for mathematical operation. I think in general you write like this there, some T operator. Okay, you learn about it in future. Uh, so on the input to the block which produces the output. Okay, this is generally I'm depicting. The transfer functions of the components are usually entered into the corresponding blocks, which are connected by arrows to indicate the direction of flow of signals. So about this, something like this. What I'm telling you, it is depicting this. You have an input, you have an output, all in terms of Laplace transforms, and the transfer function is entered in these blocks. Okay, जो भी आप rectangular या ये square जो देख रहे हैं, ये क्या करेगा? In this, you enter the generally the transfer function of the system. Here, this is one open loop system, so it is G of S. The signal can pass only in the direction of the arrows. Okay, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, there is an arrow indicating the flow of signals. Hence, the block diagram of a system, it shows a unidirectional flow of information. So that is what we call it unilateral property. Okay? It cannot go in this reverse way. But no doubt in feedback systems, what will happen? Some part of the output is taken here and taken as a, it is fed back to the input side. But however, if you see here, I'm showing this direction in this form. It won't go back like this. The meaning of the statement, it is unidirectional flow of information. A figure shows the element of a block diagram. ये एक open loop system है, उसके लिए ये block diagram दिखाया है. What are some advantages? Let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages of using the block diagram representation for any system. It is easy to form the overall block diagram for the entire system. अगर आपको एक system का एक operation दिया गया है, okay, according to that, you can form the block diagram of the system very easily. Okay, it is very easy to overall to draw the overall or to find the overall block diagram of an entire system. For example, जब हमने recently जो transfer function find किए हैं, thermal systems, hydraulic systems, those systems how they work accordingly, we have schematic में हमें represent किया है उनको. In turn, their transfer functions can also be found using these block diagrams. So that is what it means. It is possible to evaluate the contribution of each component to the overall performance of the system. इसका meaning आपको when I take the next concept you will understand this. Then I will recall about this statement to evaluate the contribution of each component. The functional